Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. You know what it is. You can follow us on that at BBO NYG Podcast on Twitter, all the platforms, Spotify, Google app, whatever. I'm Mike Trainer. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Trainer MFT. You can find Jules at Jules NYC1. And John, you can find John at NYG Slap Parade, always slapping people. Jules, what do we have going on for the topics on this week's episode?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because we actually delayed doing our normal weekly podcast by a couple of days simply because the anticipation of the 2021 schedule, which finally came out. So obviously that's going to be one of the major topics going to be talked about that, but also a lot of what the experts have been saying that they think the Giants record's going to be this coming season, which is a little bit of a surprise. And a lot of it they're saying is going to be focused mainly on Daniel Jones and that offensive line. And that's sort of the reasoning behind some of these predictions for the record. And then obviously we'll get into a little bit more about some of the stuff that's been circulating around in the social media area, a lot having to do with Devontae Smith. And what if he would have been there at 11? Do we still make the trade? Those are going to be some of the things that are discussed, considering some of the things that we've seen, being presented by Devontae Smith of him, as far as his not liking the fact that he is a Philadelphia Eagle. And then also we'll get into a little bit of just some around the NFL talk and then some jersey number talk, right? The rookie numbers have just come out for us, for the Giants, in addition to some number changes on the team. And we'll get into some talk around the NFL. But let's get it started, guys. The schedule is out. Thoughts? Let's start with week one. What are we thinking here? Week one, schedule's out. We're playing at home against Denver.
Man, that's a tough one, man. I'm telling you, because Denver got a fucking nice little team, man. They got a nice little wide receiver corps, They got some guys that can fucking ball up there. I don't know who they got throwing the ball to them. That's the only thing. I mean, if it's Drew Lock, I'm pretty excited to bet heavy on the Giants week one to make some money. I mean, Denver does got a good secondary too. So Daniel Jones has to worry about them because they're very talented. But if Drew Lock is playing and not Aaron Rodgers, if he don't get traded there, I'm betting heavy on the Giants week one because I think the Giants are actually underdogs. I think they're getting a point against Denver, right? At home. I'm come on, man.
Currently at 1.5. I mean, obviously subject to change as the preseason approaches and everything else, but my bet is jump on it now.
Yeah.
Bro, they got to just be playing the public perception, bro. It makes no sense that the Broncos are favored by 1.5 in our building. The automatic rule is always 3 points for the home team, just how it usually goes in Vegas.
Yep.
So I don't understand. They're more than a field goal better team than the Giants with all the additions. It's just ridiculous. I mean, maybe they know that there's a deal in place for Rodgers and that's what they're going off of because that is the only thing that they could think of. That's the only thing that they could say that makes any sense for that. Because, I don't really know what else the Giants have to do to have some respect in the league. I don't know if it's basically just go out and figure out a way to get every single all-pro for every single position in the entire NFC on their team and just rock the literal all-pro team. Because it's either they're a 3-win team or they have all pros at every single level, which never ever obviously happens. So the Giants, they always need to have the best talent at every single position, or else they're a 3-win team. Everybody else could be regular, where they have a bunch of good players, mostly average players, and holes somewhere. Every other 30 of the 31 teams, but the Giants need to have all pros at every single one of the 53 roster spots.
Listen, I'll be honest. I was a little disappointed in seeing that week one was against the Broncos. I mean, it felt like since forever, right? Oh, yeah. Since Tony Romo was a quarterback with the Cowboys, that we always open against one of our division rivals. So I was really praying that we got the Eagles or the Cowboys week one, which of course didn't happen. And then we get Denver, and it's so unexciting. It's just all right, yes, they had a lot of guys that were hurt last season on their D. Their defense should be a lot better, but then so should ours. I don't know what to expect. I mean, look, chances are Teddy Bridgewater wins that job, unless, of course, the rumors are true and somehow they get Aaron Rodgers there, and then it's going to be a whole complete different discussion of what we're having here. But it's always tough to me that you take a team, basically a West Coast team, pretty much. I mean, I know they're Central Mountain Time, whatever the heck it is, but it's still pretty much a West
They're
Coast.
West.
They're West enough, right? They got to
They're
fly
West.
over. Yeah. And what's crazy is usually they got to fly across the country for a 1:00 game, which then gives that home team such an advantage, especially week one, when all you've been doing really is just training at home for the most part, or training within your region. And you're going to come across, but no, we move it to a 4:25 game, which just kind of annoys me a little bit there, because I take a look at the Chargers and they're coming all the way from LA and they're going to go to Washington and they got to play that 1:00 fucking turnaround. So fuck you, Washington. All right. You get a 1:00 game and then you get to see us on Thursday with that week 2. That's a little preview as we get deeper into the schedule.
Yep.
But that was a little bit of a disappointment. In addition to that, I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping that by the time week 1 rolls around, in which all the rumors seem to be true, that the bars are sort of kind of back to somewhat normal again, and we can sit there and we can watch TV and we can watch all the games going. Man, I love going to the bar on week 1. That shit is dope. It's great. It's so much fun. To me, it's the best week. And now I got to consider if we're going to do the tailgating and maybe even do one of these podcasts live from there to do that, which could still be fun, but it's hard to get up for the Denver Broncos. So that's why it was a total disappointment for me once that was announced. In addition to that, though, right now, as of today, I think we win that game. I don't give a shit. Melvin Gordon doesn't scare me. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater does not scare me. Yeah, they have some good young receivers. I know Courtland Sutton's going to be back. They have Judy. They have some team. They have fan. They have a team. I'm not saying we're going to roll them. I'm not saying we're going to win by 20 or something like that. But I think the Giants could pull out a close one against them. And we'll as we get closer, we'll do our, game score predictions and everything else. But that just kind of annoyed me to see that whole thing of, Washington gets the team to come across the country. They play at 1:00. We got to be basically forced to play them, which is the actual true first Thursday night game. It's good in a way, too, because at least we get that shit out of the way. We don't have to worry about doing it. Fuck that. It's out of the way. Like, so happy to do that, too.
Yep.
And it's against Washington. So, all right, let's fucking go. But you know what? That was my first take to those 2 games. I don't know if you guys have anything more to say with that, Mike. Anything?
I mean, basically just like, I want to see how either Drew Lock or Teddy Bridge goes against our secondary. Obviously that's our strength of our team. Like, what if we just fucking abuse whoever plays against us? Like, that would change a lot of people's perceptions in week 1. If we just have a knockout game in that secondary and, Teddy Bridge or Drew Lock completes 3 of fucking 30. You know what I mean? That's what I'm banking on. Besides, the 3 passes he's going to complete is all checkdowns. But I'm ready for it. I think Governor Murphy, in New Jersey, is saying full capacity for week 1. So yeah, the tailgates will be fucking rocking. The stadium's gonna be rocking. I mean, I wouldn't want to be Denver or any quarterback that Denver has to go play us, especially with that defense. I mean, our defense is gonna surprise a lot of people. I mean, Jules, do you want to go down the list of all the whole schedule, or you just want to just break it down?
Well, I was thinking more so of just highlighting a few of the key things that I stood out to me. Number one, there's a couple of things that stand out. We don't need to go through that. We will make our early, if anything, early May 2021 Giant predictions for a regular season, right? Because
you don't want to do that.
As we look back and we saw shit, that's what I was saying in May, and now we're getting ready for September, and I want to see what the difference is. But that's what I'm saying with the rest of this topic.
You don't want to do a little win-loss game, go through the schedule, just really. I mean, we don't have to dissect every game, obviously, but just a win-loss total.
Yeah, John, but I'm annoyed at that. I'm annoyed at that because what I was reading on Twitter, all these people giving us either 10-7, 11-6, whatever the case may be. People were automatically giving us losses against Tampa and against Kansas City, just automatic L's. Everywhere I looked, I'm like, why can't we fucking beat them? You see, what we did against Tampa Bay. We only lost by 2 points last year against the Super Bowl fucking team, and we didn't have a fucking full squad. We didn't have the fucking secondary. We didn't have the running back. Daniel Jones was banged up. You know what I mean? So, and he fucking still played. So, I don't want to hear that shit that we're getting automatic L's for those 2 games. Stop it, Giants fans. Be real, because in the NFL, it's any given Sunday, any team could fucking win. So you're just automatically giving us L's because it's Kansas City and fucking Tampa. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, you know what's funny with that? It's going to be any given Monday in those circumstances, simply because how the fuck do our 2 Monday night games end up being against the Super Bowl teams?
Where are they? Where are they, Jules?
Wait a
Are
minute,
they
what?
both away?
And they're
Away,
both on the
both away.
road. They're both
Both
on the
away.
fucking road, bro. So, like, yo, talk about sticking it to the fucking Giants a little bit there. You're going to give us both Kansas City and Tampa, not only on Monday night, but also in their home stadiums. Like, bro, like, all right, you know what? That's good and bad. It's good because, you know what? Fuck you, league. We can't wait because, listen, like you said, Mike, yo, if we split with just one of those 2 teams, that's a big fuck you to the NFL right there. I would most likely rather have it against Tampa because of the conference. But you know what? If we go into KC, which we haven't been, I believe, since 2013, and beat them there in Arrowhead, fuck that too. That's a good one there too, you know? So, yeah, it's these little things that kind of stood out to me about this schedule, you know? John, any comments on the Monday night things? That Mike?
Do we have a home game on Monday night, guys?
No, only those 2.
Nothing.
That's it, man.
That's it.
2 on the road against the defending Super Bowl teams, right? If we had to put it that way. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. When I saw that shit, I was like that. On, bro.
All 3 of our primetime games, because the Washington game Thursday night is in Washington.
Yep.
So we have 3 primetime games. All of them are away games, which honestly, bro, fine. I don't know. Bro, maybe I'm fucking crazy. Maybe I'm just an optimist. I don't maybe just too many things have worked out for me in my life. I don't fucking know. But the reality of the situation is I don't know why we're pretending this team is fucking trash. Like, I really just don't understand it. I'm arguing with Giants fans on Twitter. They're saying 6-7 wins. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? There were 6 wins last year with fighting with one hand tied behind their back with Saquon not being on the field. COVID, no offseason, this, and that, and they still won 6 games. The defense and Daniel Jones dragged them to a 6-win season. You're going to tell me adding all these people it accounts for nothing? I just don't understand it. Now, I don't think that we're going to go into Kansas City and Tampa and win them both. It's not impossible to win one. You know what I mean? And also, a lot of times, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. Who knows? Who knows if Patrick Mahomes is playing that game? You never know. I'm okay with that because I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm giving them losses for both of those 2 games. And, guys, I only have 2 more losses on the entire schedule. I have 13-4 season right now.
I'll accept that then. I'll accept that.
Bro, if you go through, I'm telling you, if you go Denver's coming into our building, they're coming across the country with a team that's already been together for a year. The 90% of that defense has played together 16 games already. Right? You have a couple of new faces, sure, Danny Shelton, sure, Dory Jackson, and Azeez Ojulari. Those are going to be your starters that weren't here last year. But that's 3 guys out of what realistically is 14, 15 men that play defense as a starter. Yep. Right? Between slot corner, the third or safety and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You have 13, 14, 15 guys are going to play a good portion of the snaps. Most of them have played together. You're going to tell me that doesn't count for anything? Like, how does that not count for anything? Good defense all last year doesn't count for anything. So there's no reason why we shouldn't beat Denver in our building. And you're going to tell me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to come to Washington. Sure, he's got a few good weapons there. I don't know that they're the Giants' weapons. There's certainly no Saquon Barkley on that team. I'll tell you that right now. Antonio Gibson's nice, sure. But listen, a Mustang's nice. A Ferrari is a different story. Saquon Barkley's a fucking Ferrari. All right, so let's cool it with it's a running back. It doesn't matter. Okay, it does. Saquon Barkley matters. So we can't get Ryan Fitzpatrick to throw a few. We can't trick him. I don't know. Maybe it's me again, like I said. But I remember Tom Brady smashing his helmet mid-season when the Giants weren't even playing that well into the bench because he was frustrated. 20 years in the league, can dangle more fucking rings than Kim Kardashian, Jennifer Lopez. But he's frustrated. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, in the first 4 days he's with the fucking team, no, he's not going to have the same off season that he's going to have. He's going to go in and he's going to dice up the Giants secondary 4 days into the fucking season. All right, suck my fucking dick. That's 2 fucking wins. That's 2 fucking wins right there.
Well, listen, the only thing I can think with Washington is that their defense is also another unit that basically played together. And they were a top 5 defense last season. And all they did was go out and add that kid, Jamin Davis, who they say could be and might have been a better pick than Micah Parsons. Remains to be seen. It's gonna be kind of cool. Listen, no, I'm just saying. No, when the experts put out the linebacker rankings, they all have Micah as the number one linebacker coming out of college. With some, we're trying to either be daring or be like, oh, I told you so. But Jamin was the number 2 guy, right? And they got him. Not bad. Listen, it's still a solid pick, and it's just going to kind of bolster that front 7 of theirs. And that's all that I'm saying in regards to that. And it just sort of brings up what you had mentioned. Look, if we're a unit that's been playing together, so have they. And they're a really good defense. And that's all I want to say. They're a really good defense.
What about their secondary? Their secondary hasn't been playing together.
True. No, we have a way better secondary. I've always said this.
but I mean, you're talking the second week of the season, 4 days into the season. Their secondary hasn't been playing together as long as ours has. You're going to tell me that Saquon coming out of the backfield, Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, all these weapons being able to get the ball thrown to them, this literal secondary that just got together fucking 4 days prior. I fucking had diarrhea longer than that, bro. Fucking 4 days. You kidding me already? They're gonna stop that fucking offense. They're gonna abuse this op. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. But there is three preseason games this year. They are gonna have the regular like OTAs and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, we're gonna play 2 drives.
But like it's not like last year. Last year, hell yeah, without a doubt. Listen, I mean, look. There's a part of me that says I can see the Giants doing all 3 of the obvious scenarios, right? 0-2, 2-0, and 1-1. Absolutely.
0-2. No doubt. Bro, I will leave this fucking podcast right now.
No, listen. Why not? Look, Mike brought up some good points. Because the major thing with that is going to lead into what our next topic is with the O-line and Daniel Jones. And that's why that last scenario, that 0-2 possibility. But a couple of just kind of key notes here remaining with this whole schedule and what stood out besides the stuff that we have discussed so far. We have Dallas week 5, which people are already kind of building up because now you're a month and a week into the season. And, Dak Prescott should be 100% healthy. And here we go. Let's see what team is really ready to fire off, which one's for real for the NFC East. So that stood out to me. Kind of sucks. We won't be able to get that revenge game till I believe November 28th when we play the Eagles for the first time, which just feels like it's a fucking eternity till we play them. The Bears, this is another thing, and obviously we'll get into some more talk with this a little later on in the podcast, but obviously another thing here, we don't play the Bears till the second to last game of the season. By then, I would assume that they'll probably have Justin Fields playing, which will probably just surround a lot of hype and a lot of bullshit. Or the Giants could have had him, so could have had fucking 11 other teams. But fucking, you'll get into that whole scenario and a lot of bullshit that we're gonna have to hear in regards to that.
That's exactly why they're doing that. No doubt.
Yeah, I think it is, right? So that it is. So those were, sort of the remaining last couple of things to just jump off the page to me. And then also, I don't want to call it like the stretch of death or whatever you want to consider it. But I know like over a 6-week period, we're pretty much on the road with the exception of one game. But basically we play, Kansas City, Tampa, Vegas, Miami, 3 or 4 on the road all over like a 6-week period, which is going to be a real point in time where you're going to really test this team and see what they're all about in that mid.
Bro, not really. Not really, bro. We have Carolina. The stretch you're talking about is, I'm guessing you're talking week 6 through week 14, I guess.
No, before 14. I think it's like right,
and that's a huge gap right there. But the Rams at home, okay, I have them with an L there. Carolina is a team to fear, sure. Kansas City, sure. The Raiders we're scared of.
Fear, but
I mean Philadelphia, Miami, Tua. This is what the guy had to get benched 6 times so Ryan Fitzpatrick could give dignity to the fucking franchise. You're gonna tell me Justin fucking what's that fucking asshole's name? Justin Herbert is gonna light up the Giants secondary?
No way.
This is who Giants fans are fucking scared of.
I didn't say scared of him. I just said that's the true test.
No, not you. Not you. I'm talking to fucking the Twitter world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's got to go against our defense, our secondary, week 2 on a short week. You think he ain't gonna fucking throw like 3 picks against that team? Come on, man.
Dude, second game with the offense. Right. Second game.
Right. 2-0. I'm telling you right now, 2-0. We're gonna be 2-0, and people are gonna be like, they're gonna have to respect us.
I fucking can't wait, bro.
Just some
can't
quick
wait.
notable road games that I know will be getting some mention, which, look, we might consider doing it. We'll see how things go. We'll see what this whole COVID situation looks like. But they are in Tampa and they are in Miami this year, which are really just cool stadiums to go to hang out. You'll be in a nice sunny area. Really good games to go check out. I even believe that Tampa is like the Monday night before Thanksgiving. So, you might even be able to make a little trip out of it if you got some family down in Florida. It's a cool little way to get away. The one I was disappointed on was, here we are playing the fucking Raiders, and they got this brand new stadium out in Vegas. You would think you would want to put a fucking New York team out there. No, they come to us. It's like the one cool stadium that you could go to, especially what they've been doing. I don't know if you guys saw this.
They got
like
the nightclub.
Field, yeah. I mean, they shit into like a nightclub, dude. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I mean, can you imagine a nightclub, like the first row, like in the end zone? Are you kidding me?
Yo,
Like, I want to go there.
You got bottle service and shit. You got like a couch, like the VIP shit. I'm like, yo, I'll be down to do that shit.
Dude.
No, they're gonna come to the Meadowlands. Like, you suck.
I know.
What are you talking about?
Vegas got like a nightclub in like the end zone of the stadium. Like, I mean,
That sounds about right.
You can't beat that. I mean, you go from there compared to our shit stadium. I'm like, let's be honest. We have a shit fucking stadium that we share with the fucking Jets, no less.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's disgusting. MetLife, like, you fucked up. Like, whoever did that, they took a lot of money, man, off the top, and they
$1.5 billion.
kept that shit in their fucking pockets, man. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, that shit
They
filled a
fucked
lot
that
of
shit up.
people's pockets.
Bro, $1.5 billion for a fucking
For
whatever program they use to design stadiums. They just took the stadium that was on the box. It's fucking standard
like
issue.
Stadium A.
Yeah, exactly, bro. They fucked up with that, man.
Yeah,
The most-
I saw that, bro. I was fucking dying. Dude. I saw like, yo, like, and of course, they soup it up. It's like all these bottle girls, like, you'll see the clubs with the fireworks going off and shit when you get a bottle. I would still do it.
Bro, honestly,
So,
I like John Mara. I like the way I like that he responds to fans like his father did. Like if you send in mail and stuff like that.
yeah.
I just like him as a guy. He's made a couple of huge mistakes, obviously, with the franchise, Jerry Reese being one. But I honestly, there's a part of me that feels bad for him because he was one of the first guys that built the new stadium, like the new generation of stadiums. And then after that, all the stadiums have been way doper than MetLife, obviously.
Hey.
And he's going to a lot of these games. So he's fucking flying on his jet, landing, has to pull up to the stadium to this like ridiculous palace. And then he's got to be like, bro, I could have had this shit. They spent less money than I did. It's got to fucking burn his balls, I got to tell you.
Dude, we're in New York. We should have this fucking money to make this shit happen. It should be a no fucking brainer. This is a destination, man.
And we should be by ourselves.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen, I
exactly,
understand they call New York City the concrete jungle, but I don't need to go to the concrete stadium. That's what that shit
for real.
feels like, bro. Every time I'm there, I'm like, it's just like a concrete walls, like I'm in fucking prison or something.
it's
When I'm in
all
New York
gray.
playing football, like
It's
they
all
should make
gray.
it more hood like that or something. Like, fuck it, you're gonna come in and get fucked up.
I'm surprised.
Bro, I'll tell you
dude,
this, man.
dude, I'm surprised they don't make us wear orange jumpsuits before we fucking enter the stadium. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Seriously, bro. You walk around like go to concession stands, like, bro, I swear to God, you feel like you're getting transferred from cell block A to B or something.
Yo, D block.
I will give them credit though. The only real like thinking they put into it was instead of using one color gray for the seats, they used a few different colors, so it didn't just wash. They broke it up a little bit with light grays and dark grays for the seats. I'll give them credit for that.
That's a great.
Since you've been the most enthusiastic about this whole situation, I'm gonna go to you first.
Me?
Yep, you first for May predictions of what the regular realistic now, Mike, because I already see you going, oh, we're gonna go 17-0. No,
I'll be right
realistic
back.
predictions. A realistic prediction for what the Giants record will be in 2021.
Me?
Yeah, man.
All right. So while we were talking, I just wrote down the schedule and I just went through, games that I think they're gonna lose. Like Kansas City, I can see Tampa. It's week 11, I think that is. That team is probably going to be gelling by then if they do have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. If we can get a little bit lucky where we pull one of those wins out, sure. But right now I got them both taking an L there. I think New Orleans is just a tough place to play. I know they don't have Drew Brees anymore. So I'm, I have W in parentheses, but I do have an L next to the name. And what else? I have the Rams because I feel like that's going to be in week 6. It's a month and a half of the season. Stafford will have time to kind of gel with his receivers, his new offense. And, I think he's overhyped. I know he's got big boy numbers, but he's always had diesel receivers, Calvin Johnson and guys like that, kind of Kenny Galladay, who we have now, which is awesome. So I know they're a little bit inflated. He also plays indoors, doesn't play outside, which is a huge help with quarterback statistics. Speaking to you, Phillip Rivers. So those are the games that you can say is better than not chance that they're going to end up losing. The rest of the games are all quote unquote winnable games. Denver, Atlanta, Carolina, Raiders, and the rest of them are whatchamacallit. It's the Chargers, winnable game. Miami, winnable game. Chicago, definitely winnable game. You got 4 games that are losses. So maybe, factoring in a couple of injuries, maybe you lose a couple more of those. I don't see any reason why this team doesn't win 11 games. Other than being ravaged by injuries, a la 2019 Yankees. Other than that, this team has the requisite talent and coaching staff to win 11, 12, 13 games. They weren't a 16 team last year.
Like, because originally at first, the way you decided like you were going, I was gonna put you down for like 15-2. But
no, I would if I knew that they were going to be healthy, I would say they were going to win 13 games.
All right.
I think they lose to the two Super Bowl teams and then one more game. But there's nobody else, bro. There's nobody else that's appreciably better than the Giants in any major way. Nobody. There's nobody else. I have faith in fucking Joe Judge. I have faith in Patrick Graham. And even though not many people have faith in Jason Garrett, I think now that he's got weapons to actually play with, Tony, Galladay, Saquon, this, and that, I think that he'll be able to, maybe if they don't go from the 31st offense to the second offense.
So 14-3?
If you want me to write down, I'm going to say 12.
Hey, we're gonna redo them again. We're gonna do them in August.
Listen, I'll go back to this, bro. Receipts.
Yeah, no doubt.
12 and 5 is my guess for the
12
season.
12-5. All right, 12-5.
Wow.
Mike, what do you got, Mike?
Dude, I was just gonna say the same fucking thing. 12-5. And I'll give my reason. I'm not gonna go like team by team. I'm not gonna waste time doing that because like it'll just be stupid for me. Like you guys got better perceptions with going team by team than I do because I'm just a total homer and I think we're gonna go 17-0. But 12-5, I want to say is realistic because we're going against the refs too. Because the refs just love to fucking fuck with us in New York. It happens every fucking year and it happens multiple times. And I'm fucking sick of it. I want to know who the referees during those games are. John, because like these referees that they must get paid to fucking make these fucking bullshit calls sometimes that just like phantom calls and it affects the game. And that's the reason I'm going 12-5. Those 5 losses are going to be over some fucking bullshit. And I tell you, those 5 losses, they're going to be by like fucking 2 points or less. Fucking 2, 3, a field goal here and overtime, whatever the case may be, So that's what I'm going for. I think 12-5. We got a good team. We have a fucking good team.
With your early
I don't think people realize that.
With your early May predictions, I'm putting you both down at 12-5. And again,
what about you, Jules?
This is early, right? It's early.
Hear this.
It's early, right? So
It's gonna be
more. I don't know. Say it's not pessimistic because that's not the word to describe it, but I'm a little bit more of a realist. And
No. I'm not allowing you to say that shit, Jules. I can't allow you to say realist. It's pessimist or optimist. Realists are only people lying to themselves about being pessimists.
All right.
I'm gonna bleep Jules out on this. I'm gonna edit this podcast and bleep.
But as of today, in May, I'm gonna go out and say 10-7. All right. I still give us a winning record. I still think that could get us into the playoffs. That could even maybe take the division depending on how things unfold. All right. But realistically, and listen, I'm between 10-7 and 11-6. I really am. That's sort of it's not like I'm more leaning towards a 9-8 type season. I'm leaning more towards an uptick type of season. So that is the case. And listen, and this is what's really going to lead us into this next topic is that most of the experts, so-called fucking experts. And this is why they fucking kill me. They drive me insane. And that's why, we have to take a quick moment to thank our listeners because you've woken up. You realize that the fucking mainstream is just a bunch of bullshit. They all say the same fucking thing. No one takes a chance. At least when we're on here, you got fucking John and Mike. They're like, fuck it, we're going 12-5. And here's why. All right. And there's none of this bullshit because you'll hear the experts going, well, we think the Giants are going to be 7-10, which we all know.
They're always wrong.
Absolute fucking ludicrous, right? Because how are the Giants supposed to win just one more game with an extra game with a better and much improved team? Where is the logic behind any of this bullshit? But instead, they'll then, because this is what the experts or, these big major fucking things like to bail themselves out by doing, they'll turn around and say, well, the Giants could be one of the biggest surprises in the NFL if the O-line takes the next step and Daniel Jones clicks as a quarterback. And if that's the case, then, oh, man, the sky's the limit. And this team will be the team that we're talking about like crazy, right? Oh, Daniel Jones, could he have the type of season like Baker Mayfield or the other guy up in Buffalo comes out and say, Josh Allen, of course. But, could he be that guy? And if he is, oh, man. Or is Jones going to be running for his life because this offensive line is absolute trash?
So
guys, I'm going to start it up there. You tell me some more about what you think, because that's what is making these guys come out and say that the Giants will be 7-10.
All right, so let's take a quick commercial break and talk more about Daniel Jones and the offensive line. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We're back with Daniel Jones and the offensive line situation. I mean, listen. I know everybody was worried going into the draft about the offensive line. Everybody's being like so dramatic about it. I get it. I was one of them too, in a way. I wanted a second round pick for offensive line to solidify that, but apparently they're okay with it. It seems like they're okay with Will Hernandez coming back from COVID and no training camp and being injured, and they're looking at him to have a big back bounce a year. So maybe it's just the right guard situation. Are they high on Shane Lemieux? Are they going to sign like a veteran? It doesn't seem like there's so much worried about it like all of us are. So I think we'll be okay in that regards. Plus with Barkley coming back, that changes the whole dynamic of the offensive line. Having him back there, the threat of a running game, and not just like Daniel Jones, taking 3 steps back and like have to fire the ball and get it out of there because everybody's fucking teeing off on him. It changes the whole dynamic. So I don't think people have to worry about the offensive line that much and that like being so dramatic about it, because there's not like in the NFL, there's not so much, there's not a lot of great offensive line play in the NFL. Let's just face the facts. There just isn't.
Exactly.
And I think we're okay in that regard.
And that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I was saying about we need all pros at 50 of the 53 roster spots to even have a chance to win 6 games. That's just what it is. What offensive line has a true all-pro caliber at all 5 positions? Who? 1 or 2 once in a while will escalate to the point where now just a cumulative offensive line, even if you have 3 really good guys and 2 good guys, the fact that they're all working in unison now bumps up those other 2 good guys to all look like really good players, because it's a team effort. The offensive line is a fucking dance crew. They all have to work in unison.
Maybe what? Dallas, John. Maybe Dallas had an all-pro offensive line, like you were saying years ago. And where did they go?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Where do they go? It's not that offensive line isn't important. It's just teams don't generally have 5 all-pros across the line. You want to have 3 really good players and 2 guys who won't fuck you up. That's what you're looking for. And that's exactly what we should have with what we have on the team. Andrew Thomas was looked at up until Dave Gettleman drafted him. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Andrew Thomas was the best offensive lineman in college football the 2 years prior to him getting drafted, right? Then the combine happened. Then Mekhi Becton and everybody else, Wills and Wirfs and all that, they showed out at the fucking combine and the pro days, and then America fell in love and started sucking their dicks, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what knocked Thomas down. But before, when the season was going on, he was LT1 in the country. Yeah. The kid can fucking play football, okay? Enough of this. If he's trash, if he takes the next step forward, you drafted a 4th overall tackle. The kid's probably going to go to fucking flirt with Canton. This is the type of player that you're talking about. Enough is a fucking enough already.
And
All
listen,
right, that's one guy. Matt Pert was a gem. Everybody across the league was saying that might be a nice steal. The kid looks like he was made in a fucking lab. He was undersized and played at UConn. Played 5 games and played well. You're gonna tell me he just added another 20 pounds of straight muscle? The guy looks fucking straight diesel. That he can't be a good right tackle when he already showed with no offseason that he could play at least adequate enough as a third rounder at a fucking UConn. He played primarily in the first half of the season when they were going up against the most dominant pass rushing teams in the fucking league. Tampa, LA, Bears, all these fucking guys. He was out there and he played well enough. He's not going to progress. Are we doubting Joe Judge and his coaching staff? I thought everybody was fucking sucking Joe Judge's nuts. I thought he was this great coach. Now he can't develop talent?
Right.
Oh, well, let's just completely disregard the fact that from week 1 to week 17, with the exception of a couple games when Daniel Jones literally couldn't fucking move, they obviously progressed. But we're going to pretend all of that didn't fucking happen and all these guys are walking around out there with the fucking wrist broken. No. They're going to be fine. You have 3 good guys. Nick Gates was fucking diesel for most of the season. Matt Pert can be good. Andrew Thomas is going to be great. You need Will Hernandez to live up to his draft pedigree a little. And then you need Shane Lemieux. We need one real guy to make a legitimate jump. That's all we need. We don't have fucking idiots running around outside. We have one of the best skill position groups in the entire NFL. We don't need all pros on the offensive line. We need good people, and that's what the fuck we have.
We'll be fine.
And you know what? I think a lot of this is really sort of bringing out an enlightenment to the offensive line was obviously the first couple of games, like you mentioned, but also what stood out was the Ravens in the Arizona game, where we kind of got beat off the ball. We got a little dominated. We gave up the most amount of sacks we did in any of those over a 2-game stretch like we did in those 2 games combined. So that kind of stood out. And I think that's what the old line has really been kind of gauged off of, is mainly those 2 games rather than anything else, besides the fact that we had fucking guys running behind the offensive line that were fucking 50 years old. Like, they, and they were still gashing fucking teams for big runs. Like, all that kind of goes out the window. People forget that Hernandez and Thomas both played hurt last season. I mean, you have to take that into account, that these guys are going out there playing banged up, for the whole season. Not to mention Nick Gates now gets another full season on this, as the center with some more spring and preseason games and all that kind of shit that's involved. And let's not forget, Old man Rudolph was not brought on this team just to be some sort of maybe tight end threat touchdown thing. The guy can still fucking block. All right. Like, that I won't take away from old man Rudolph. Like, old man Rudolph can seal, he can block, he can get up to that second level. That's going to help the run game. That can, if we need to, leave him in and max protect. That gives an extra guy that's going to be sort of like this added additional kind of guard tackle thing that you would with this tight end. So the extra blocking is available. And it's like you said, John, you're literally looking for 1 or 2 guys, possibly like a Lemieux or maybe one of these other veterans, to step up into that right guard spot and actually play. And yes, we do need Hernandez to be sort of what he was 2 seasons ago rather than what he was last year. But I don't know how much of that COVID and him being hurt actually played into that. You have to consider that. I mean, shit, let's just take a quick look at the season that's currently in play with baseball. There's so many of these guys that are coming back from COVID that don't look the same when they come back, or guys that missed prior and then it takes them a couple of weeks to get going. So you can't take away something from that guy Hernandez, who didn't have any kind of preseason, had 2 different fucking line coaches, all this shit going on, missed games because of COVID, coming back. Yeah, maybe he was a little fucking out of sync. Like, that shit happens. The whole thing about a good offensive line unit is being in sync together, knowing where the other guy is going to be, knowing who's picking up blitzes, and knowing who could do this. Now, the thing that we focused on so much is that I think we took a lot of time focusing on the offensive line, but yet, man, and I already know where you guys are going to go with this, but I have to bring it up. I see, Mike, you want to jump in, but like, yo, that's it. We believe in Daniel Jones then, huh? Like, that's it. He's the guy. He's our fucking guy. Because I didn't hear one thing about him yet.
That's my guy, man. I'm riding or dying with Daniel Jones, man. That's it. What's the next topic, man? Like,
dude, I just like. I don't know how people watch Daniel Jones and can be intellectually honest and say that they don't see it.
They're haters.
What?
They're haters.
Dude, like who are you lying to? Like,
themselves.
watch this fucking kid. Watch him. He literally places the ball right in front of their fucking nose. They could do a fucking line of coke off the fucking end of the ball before they fucking catch it.
I've seen it.
He's got ridiculous accuracy. Go watch Matt Stafford play. This
Listen.
guy that, oh my God, is going to go to the Rams. They're Super Bowl contenders. Oh my God, Matthew Stafford. Oh, right? Watch his highlights, bro. All the fucking plays, the fucking receivers are contorting themselves all the plays to catch the ball. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying Daniel Jones has that. He's also very athletic. He's also very smart. He had one of the highest Wonderlic scores out there. Went to fucking Duke, all right? Like, he didn't go to Miami and fucking party the whole time. He was a scholar, all right?
Yeah.
The kid could play. He could throw the ball accurately. He's fast. He's athletic. And he's got the weapons around him that he could take advantage of defenses. He throws one of the best deep
I'll tell you what the
balls
two
in
words
the
are
league.
that probably scare everyone the most and really was what get the haters out and what really fucking brings the whole sort of negativity into Daniel Jones. Two words. The fumbles.
Say it.
Shit.
Say it.
Shit. The
All right,
fumbles.
so
That's a scary thought, man, because look, he's got the turnovers down with the interceptions, especially you could say that Ingram with the fucking deflections and all that nonsense. The fumbles were still kind of real last year. They got better. They improved. They did.
Right.
They did. They definitely improved, but he has to improve that. If he does that with all the weapons around him, I would be shocked if he's not a extremely improved quarterback and one that you could believe in to lead the franchise.
Bro, he cut his fumbles down in half. Okay? He cut them down in half in one season. In half.
Right. So he's got
to cut them down in half. All right. So progress there's literal proof of progress. Okay? So he can't get better at it. It's like, I don't understand how you can, unless you're just okay with looking like an idiot and sounding like an idiot, I don't know how anybody, like I said, could be intellectually honest and say, oh no, he's not going to get better at it. He still has this problem. But yet you looked at, literally, he cut him in half. It's 55%, 19 to 11. Okay. That is as good a hope that you can look for. What?
Yeah, but look, man, you just said 19, which is ridiculous. And then, yeah, right, we see improvement, but it's still 11, man.
The standard is zero, Jules.
Eli
Manning is
Manning.
not zero.
Eli
The
Manning had
standard
the
is
same problem.
What?
Eli
Manning had the same problem in his early years.
People think that it's supposed to be zero.
His brother, Peyton Manning, threw the most fucking picks in the league. And
For
everybody's
5
like,
years.
and you're going to fucking drop Peyton Manning. Like, come on. Like, give the guy a fucking chance.
But that's
the guy had
really
11
what it
fumbles.
is.
Jules.
If you eliminate, so
Hold
let's say he goes.
make this fucking point.
John. No, I'm about to agree with you here. No, seriously, because like if he continues on that pace, then you're right. Look, if he gets it down to say 5 fumbles this season, right? You know what I mean?
He's
like
above average.
19 to 5 in those 2 seasons and has these weapons and throws, let's say 24, 23, 25 touchdowns or something like that, runs for another 2 or 3. He's around the 30 mark. Bro, no one's going to say a fucking word. They're going to be talking this kid up as a Pro Bowler. Like,
I wouldn't say a word either on that, Jules. But like a lot of times, like his fumbles, like it was because Daniel Jones was kind of like waiting just to try to make a play. He was waiting for guys to get open. So I gotta give DJ credit for that because it wasn't just such an enormous pass rush. He'd get hit right away. Sure, that happened, but it seemed like he was just like waiting, trying to fucking wait for the fucking next play. Where Eli Manning would have just kind of took the ball, kind of like, all right, threw it away, on to the next play. So I think Daniel Jones is kind of learning that. You know what I mean? In the NFL, like, listen, you only got like 1-2 seconds, like, to make a decision, and that's it. And that's a
Can I
wrap.
ask you a question?
That's it.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Tell us.
Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Taysom Hill. What do they have in common?
They run.
I'll give you the answer. They have the same amount of fumbles as Daniel Jones.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Whoa.
I like that.
Whoa. Actual
right.
context to the conversation. Let's take it a step further, shall we?
Yes.
In the I think week 15 or whatever it was when they played Arizona, we all agree Daniel Jones came back a week too early, probably, maybe even 2 weeks too early. And they were getting re-injured and was literally running around on 2 injured legs. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They had No running game, really. Just mediocre running game. There was no threat of a big play. That's the difference between having a good running game and not. It's not getting 2 and 3 yards. Oh, he fell forward. Oh, my God. I don't want to buy his jersey. That's not what fucking it's about. It's about explosive plays and the defense having to scheme around the running back. That's why fucking Saquon Barkley is important, okay? He wasn't there. So what were they able to do? Get the run on the way to the quarterback, okay? So they fucking all out blitzed. Offensive line didn't play well. He had 3 fumbles that game. Let's take that off the top because I mean we got to give him a mulligan for 1 game, right? Are we going to crucify this guy?
Sure.
Right? Can we just for the 1 game, right? Let's even charge him with the fumble in week 17 when he was handing the ball to fucking Wayne Gallman, right? Gallmanites. Wayne Gallman closes his hands too fast and drops the ball. Then follows it up by getting stripped with fucking 80 yards in front of him to seal the game, and luckily falls on it with his fucking taint and fucking recovers the fumble. If not, it would have been 2 fumbles that game. But that one Jones wears. And to further that point, it was the first fumble other than this Arizona game that he had since fucking week 9. So he went in half the fucking season without fumbling the ball at all. But we just went over people suck Josh Allen's dick. They suck Lamar Jackson's asshole. Same amount of turnovers. You don't hear fucking boo. All right? You don't hear a fucking word.
I'm very
All
surprised.
Take those 3 out. I have to go down. If I go down now, I'm 8. There's 10 quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson's on that list. You're going to tell me that America doesn't suck this guy's dick?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, 8. Kyler Murray,
Oh, yeah.
9. Burrow, 9. Kirk Cousins,
I think he was
9.
trying to get too much of America to do
Where
it.
the fuck is the standard? Why is it 0 for Jones?
The massage.
Why is it 0 for Jones?
Dude, we get that with the whole fucking Daniel Jones situation. There's fucking no doubt. I mean, these other teams, you know what the difference is with these other teams that don't hear the slack? It's because, like, they win. Buffalo wins, Baltimore wins. So you don't hear it that much. Yeah, especially, like, in New York, they always got to throw something on the fucking back page. I mean, they made Eli Manning. Even Eli Manning came out in an interview saying, like, if I knew about the New York media, he probably would have went to San Diego. He came out and said,
great one. I saw that.
Of course.
I mean, they were
Chris
putting, like,
Stanley doesn't fucking deserve Eli Manning. They don't deserve fucking anybody on the team right now, including Joe Judge and Saquon and Daniel Jones.
so fuck this media. That's why you listen to us. We're gonna be the real shit. Like, we put fucking, like, they put Eli Manning in a dunce cap on the back of the Daily News. Like, yo, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? And
They do that because these fucking asshole fan bases in New York that boo Derek Jeter, that boo this and boo that, and oh, you fuck almighty, it's New York, we're tough, bah, bah, bah. Great, but you're fucking scared of Justin Herbert, you fucking losers, right? That's why they cater to these fucking people, bro. That's why they can put a dunce cap of NFL royalty on the back page while the guy's fucking dangling a fucking Super Bowl ring.
What about Golick and Mina Kimes, like, laughing when Daniel Jones got drafted? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, fuck you.
You're naming 2 guys. Bro, I'm more mad at our own fan base, bro. These people are paid to make fucking money and drive and drive attention to their businesses, ESPN and Fox Sports and all that stuff. I get that part of it. It's a business. You got a lot of dumb fucking people in this world. So you know what? We're gonna write articles and we're gonna fill our fucking pockets. And you know what? Good for them. I'm talking about actual Giants fans that are supposed to be loyal to the team, that are literally outwardly rooting against the team, that I'm literally quote tweeting them on a fucking almost bi-weekly basis of all these different fans that are literally rooting against him. Those are the motherfuckers I'm yelling at. Those fucking assholes. Fucking set foot in fucking MetLife, bro. Get the fuck out of here. If I was Mara, I'd fucking never allow you in the stadium. You've been the fucking bulletin board saying, rock my jersey, fucking asshole.
Well, listen, no, it's perfect because it's literally why the next thing we're going to discuss real quickly is that it's even something that needs to be discussed, right? So
is
it
this
goes
new
with
topic,
two parts. Yeah, we're going to switch.
Right,
You want to take a quick commercial break or should I set up the topic?
Yeah, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with a new topic.
By the New York media.
Right back. And we're back. Jules, what topic we got now to discuss?
So like it kind of transitions perfectly into everything that we were just discussing, right? And here's the point of it. It's going to be in 2 parts, right? But one thing that has been coming up over and over and over again, at least on social media, is the whole discussion now that because it has leaked out that if Devonta Smith was there and there was never this trade, that we were going to take him with the 11th overall pick. And now people are sitting back and going, well, I want to play fucking Mr. Hindsight over here. And let's see what happens here. What if Devonta Smith was still there? Would we still go get the trade from the Bears? Probably fucking not, all right? Because guess what? Like Mike, you mentioned, I believe last week, you said, look, you know what? Gettleman held strong on saying we want a first-round pick. He probably doesn't hold strong if Devonta Smith is sitting there. Not to mention how much I feel so bad for that kid, Devonta Smith, because every time you see him on social media, the dude's walking like his dog died, like he's a kid. One of the things I saw on Twitter was it's like a kid getting sent to school the first day, and he's like, "Ma, I don't want to go." And he's getting pushed out the car to get fucking into class. Like, I feel bad for the kid. The kid was at a Knicks game before the draft. Like, he wanted to become a fucking Giant. I feel for you, Devonta, if you're out there and you're listening, bro. It sucks that we're gonna have to beat the shit out of you twice a year now, but maybe after your rookie deal, we'll fucking sign you. And that's the first part of it, is that this has now become a discussion that do we trade back? Do we still get the deal, which people argued and said was great, and then Tony and all this other bullshit, to now flip it to, and then we kind of mentioned this earlier with the schedule, and saying that we're playing the Bears week 2, the second to last of the season, second to last game of the season, and Justin Fields will be there. I've heard more buzz about, oh God, if Dale Jones fails, oh God, you guys could have had Justin Fields. Yeah, so could have fucking 10 other teams, right, including 3 that took quarterbacks, all right? So shut the fuck up with this Justin Fields shit, all right? If you want to talk about the fucking 49ers, they took Trey Lance, all right? So shut the fuck up. You're going to tell me Trey Lance is going to just jump on the scene? He's going to have a better year than fucking Justin Fields and a better year than Daniel Jones. Suck a dick, media. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, when was the last time an Ohio State quarterback actually did something? How many times we gotta say the same fucking story? How many times?
History repeats itself.
Bro, it's not Ohio State. It's mostly a lot of the big schools, because the talent around these guys makes them look ridiculous. That's the thing. When you look at fantasy, you don't actually understand what you're fucking watching because you're an idiot, right? That's what happens. You look, oh my God, he had 4,000 yards passing, at 50 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. Yet when you watch the games, his receivers are getting open by 11 fucking yards that your sister would be able to throw left-handed and complete these passes. So yeah, there are good quarterbacks, but there are also a lot of guys that get inflated, and all of a sudden, right now, there's only like 2 good quarterbacks in the draft. By the time this time next year hits, 11 months from now, they're going to be, oh my God, there's these 5 quarterbacks, can't miss. It's the best quarterback draft ever. It's what they do every single year. Yeah. Same thing goes for this kid too, bro.
So true.
I hope he's decent. Sure, well, down the line, good for him. But bro, I mean, I don't know. He's going to defy the odds both in the NFL and as his fucking alma mater. Okay, sure.
I didn't want Justin Fields. Obviously, like you guys know, I wanted Devontae Smith. I was pissed that like they jumped. Philly jumped ahead of us, traded with Dallas to get him. But in order to have a backup plan, which we never had under Jerry Reese, I mean, let's be fucking real. Like all of a sudden, like, Gettleman held out, and I tweeted this, I said it on the podcast, like, they were offering a second-round pick. Gettleman was like, no, I want a first-rounder. He got the first-rounder. I had people on Twitter question me, where's your source? Where's all this? And now all of a sudden it came out a couple of days ago, right? It comes out a couple of weeks later, right? I mean, I think I know what I'm talking about. So it's just the fact that, like, listen, sometimes it might be, things don't work out, but it might be a blessing in disguise. So, like, maybe that first round pick turns into something fantastic next year. We don't know. We're going to see it, and we'll see how it plays out. We'll compare Tony and Smith's numbers this year, obviously. I think Tony will have a bigger impact with the Giants because of their passing game, going against Philly and, with fucking, Hurts. Like, I don't see that passing game being that dynamic, and that coach is just a retard. So I think we'll be fine in that regard. So I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, and I think I've said this clear before, the trade doesn't even exist if Devonta Smith is there. So there's no reason to question it because it doesn't exist. And the whole Justin Fields thing, I think I summarized enough with the whole fucking idea of he's got to be better than those other quarterbacks first before you could even fucking mention his name with Daniel Jones. That's really all I have to say on that topic. John, I know you wanted to say something else too.
So let's say he was there at our pick. You if knowing what they got for the trade, you wouldn't have done the trade?
See, that's the difference
Mhm.
now. Knowing in hindsight, I don't know because it's to be continued, right? Because I do think that Devonta Smith would have had more of an impact as a rookie wide receiver on the Giants than he will on the Eagles, and that's a fact. And I don't give a shit. And I'll stand behind that. If he does really well on the Eagles, just imagine what he would have done with the Giants. But it's to be determined in the fact that we don't know what we're going to get with that first round. Hopefully everything works out. And it's like I mentioned last week, where we're literally getting some premier pieces to put into place because we're getting ready to go on that Super Bowl run, right? As opposed to, oh, well, now we need to trade up and get a quarterback or whatever the fucking, the wheels fall off, right? And also, I want to see with all the, with all the negative about how much Garrett sucks and he can't come up with these new plays. Well, you got this kid that's raw. All right. It's going to really take him another season or two to develop as a true route running wide receiver. But in the meantime, we don't need that. Not when you have Slayton and Shepard and fucking Rudolph and Ross and all these other guys that are going to be running that shit. He's got to be used, Tony, as more of a dynamic type of player and utilize his athleticism. The kid can throw. I think he threw the ball like 50 yards on one knee.
70.
Yeah.
70, sorry, 70. All right, exactly. All right, the kid can throw the fucking ball 70 yards on one knee. He can fucking run faster than pretty much half the team, on offense. He's quick. He makes moves. You can put him in a wildcat. You can line him and Barkley up in the backfield. Like, you confuse the shit out of defenses. And that's what Garrett does with this. Holy shit. Then the trade is by far the best thing we could have done because we got this kind of player that's just going to bring all this other sort of elements to the game. And we got 2 first-round picks next year.
Can I paint the picture for you? Daniel Jones in the shotgun. What?
Go, Bob Ross.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So you have the 5 offensive linemen. You have Daniel Jones. To the right is Evan Ingram, the tight end. Okay. Then you have Slayton and Galladay on the outsides. Standing next to Daniel Jones on his left is Saquon Barkley. On his right is Kadarius Toney. They fucking run like a read option, right? You have 3 people to fucking worry about where that defense is, where that ball is going to go. Right in a row, shoulder to shoulder. 3 different people could take that ball. You could fucking toss it. You could do whatever you need to do out of that backfield. Yeah. How are you supposed to fucking defend that? Well, not that how are you supposed to defend that. That's not the right choice of words. How are you supposed to have 11 guys all instantaneously make the correct read and all without even a split second of hesitation? You're not. That's what this offense is going to be able to do.
It's all on Garrett.
Yeah, listen.
And we have 47 coaches, so if they're going to be trying to come up with unique plays, a lot of opportunities in that fucking coaching room.
This is definitely the time.
A lot of noodles.
And speaking of the wide receivers, I did kind of make a joke earlier in the week and then found out the actual truth behind it. Sterling Shepard, amongst the rookies, got their numbers changed this week, right? And Shepard changed to number 3. So I made a joke and I says, well, all right, is that the number of games he's going to miss this season? I was like, if he's the 3, that's fucking good because we got him for another 14. To find out, of course, the social media, Twitter, and everything else, it was his father's old number in college or something like that, and he's paying tribute or something to his dad, and that's why he wanted to change number 3. Pretty fucking.
I think he wore it in college too.
Yeah. I like that. All right, pretty cool, man. Way to get it. And I'll still stand by my thing. If you give us 14 out of 17 games, hell yeah, good shit, Shep. I like it. Give me 14 healthy games, right?
At least he's not going to miss 8 or 7 games. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm happy with that. Listen, all these guys are fucking changing their jerseys. It sucks for the people, the fans that buy their jerseys, and then all of a sudden they waste their money. It's kind of fucked up in a way. But listen, that's the number they want. I remember playing basketball in grade school. I wanted a certain number and I got it. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But to change it, and it's a whole dynamic of them. Now I think Shepard has to pay out whatever inventory is left in number 87.
He has to pay
that out to get number 3. That's now the NFL stipulates it. So he should give money to people that already have the jersey. But I mean, I
wonder how much it costs. I wonder how many jerseys he actually has to buy. How many thousands of dollars it actually costs him to change his number.
It's got to be a certain percentage of it. I don't think it's full jerseys, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand, he has to buy out the inventory that they have. That's how it works with the league.
And then autograph them and turn them around and make a profit.
Right, exactly. Retro.
You know?
Yeah, retro
throwback.
Hey, listen, if he wins a Super Bowl fucking one day with the Giants, it'll definitely be a lot more valuable of a jersey if that's the case.
Absolutely. And then just some quick other notables. My man Ojolari, he's gonna take number 51 as of today. Tony's getting 89. The other, the immense guy, Erlison Smith, is taking Carl Banks' number 58.
I don't like that.
That was kind of interesting because of the fact that, and I have to give a shout out to Carl Banks if you're listening, right? He actually was liking some of the tweets that I had sent out earlier in the week regarding Ojolari. All right. It would have been kind of weird and fitting in a strange way if Ojolari was wearing 58, but he took 51. Right. I guess he wants to make his own number on the Giants. All right. But that was just some of the numbers that stood out to me as far as with these old jersey changes and everything that's going on as of today in May with all the jerseys and everything else. But look, another thing with Ojolari, he actually inked his rookie deal. So that's fantastic. I mean, this kid is already on board. He's got the likings of the great fucking Carl Banks back in him. The dude is ready to play. I'm telling you right now, he is going to be an impact player, barring any injuries, of course, because I said this about McKinney last season and he got hurt. And it was a fluke fucking injury, but keep an eye out for McKinney. I cannot wait for those two guys to come back. Those are my back-to-back second-round picks. They're both there. I can't wait to see both of these dudes fly in fucking 2021.
This team is stacked.
Bro, it's so it just baffles my mind how this team gets so much hate. It's because the fans fucking allow it. It's because there's so many fucking loser fans in this fucking fan base that's allowed. All of the fan bases, you fucking talk shit about their team, they fucking attack you. Our fan base, they're like, oh yeah, fucking shove it further down my mouth.
That's the way it is, man.
I fucking hate Giants fans, bro.
We gotta focus in on one thing really quick too, because we're gonna get into like getting around the NFL. But one thing that's really starting to stand out, if no one's seen this so far that's listening, and I know I brought it up earlier today to you guys, man, if anyone's going to steal attention from the New York media in this NFL this year, it's gonna be no, not a player. Wait, did you guys say player? Nope, not a player. Zach Wilson's mom. All right. She's literally had to shut down Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts. Like there is some dumb shit that's being tweeted and said for her that's out there. Like if you guys thought Eli Apple's mom was like fucking newsworthy and got a lot of attention, wait and look up Zach Wilson's mom and the shit that's being posted and she had to shut shit down. Look, if I was Zach Wilson and I'm starting as a quarterback for the New York Jets and I'm in the New York media, I would literally be like, okay, Ma, look, I got like a $7 million fucking signing bonus or whatever the fuck you get for being a number 2 overall pick in 2021. And I would be like, Ma, here's $1 million. Stay the fuck off of social media for the fucking next 2 years. Don't you want to talk to your fucking friends? You want to talk to fucking grandma in Arizona or whatever? Call her on the fucking phone like most people do, all right? Don't be posting shit. Don't be doing your idiotic fucking reactions or any of this nonsense. Just stay the fuck off of social media, man. Listen, if you haven't, trust me, it's all over Twitter. I'm sure you can find posts on Instagram and every fucking where else. It is fucking hilarious. And when you look at the woman, like, nothing wrong with her or anything, but like there is a little like craziness that look in the eyes, like kind of. I don't know, man. Like that's what I see immediately, bro. Like I tried following that. I was like, yo, this is gonna be fucking awesome. Like what a great thing to talk about during the off season is that looking at how crazy Zach Wilson's mom is. So that's just one of the things to sort of start and talk around this shit. I'm telling you right now, like definitely some funny shit. And like Zach Wilson, that's what it was the other thing, has actually stopped following his mom on social media. So just a couple of quick notes to just kind of
really.
Shit. Yep.
Not hysterical.
A little bit.
She's just blonde.
Easy.
Yeah, I know, but look at
she's
the
got
eyes.
fake tits.
The eyes, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, it's just a regular looking woman, but like, you look at
Why is this? Why is such a big deal?
On in there, man? The wheels are turning.
She looks like she's like fucking 55 years old. Like, I don't understand what the.
Yeah. But it goes back to the whole fucking New York media type shit. They make everything so fucking dramatic and.
No, but this is gonna be good, man.
Kind of beat a dead horse.
Like you wouldn't stop following your mom on social media if there wasn't.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. Like,
bro, this shit is fantastic. I'm like, yo, this is like they make movies over, like freaking like dramas on Lifetime and shit.
But he probably told his mom, "Was like, listen, I got to unfollow you and make it look good. This is the whole fucking situation right now. So like, I'll still see you on Christmas, on Thanksgiving, fucking, you know what I mean? It's like all the holidays.
Lifetime movie. Mom ruins NFL prospects' fucking dreams.
Like, it's gonna make him throw like 10 picks the first game. Like, yeah, everybody just needs to fucking chill, man.
His mom be tweeting out, be like, "Yo, Disney, fuck you, Disney."
Yeah, fucking Mickey Mouse is gonna.
It's because that game was on ABC, and that's run by Disney.
Yes, this fucking bullshit, man.
But a little bit more of a serious topic around the NFL, and one of the ones that we're just gonna kind of wrap things up with, is the whole thing of Tim Tebow. That's right. Wow. Tim fucking Tebow is still relevant in the NFL somehow, some way. But the real reason is because Urban Meyer and him had an amazing bond when he was the coach and player at Florida University. They won some national titles together. They were crushing they took the college world by storm. And Urban Meyer is the coach of fucking Jacksonville. So yes, if a guy like that had a bond with him that he almost looked at as a son in a way, is still trying to make it, yeah, he's going to give him a fucking shot. There's no other reason behind it. He looked at Urban Meyer as like a son that wasn't a son. You know what I mean? Like, they had their blood. They fought. They changed the whole shape of Florida football for that university for a good period of time. They were running the SEC. They made Urban Meyer go to Alabama so he could fucking become competitive. Like, they put that kind of conference and everything on the fucking map. So, yes, if that star player is still trying to make it and I'm a brand new head coach of the NFL, yeah, I'm going to fucking give the kid a chance. Like, what the fuck? Like, why not? The chances are he fails, we fucking cut him. No big deal. But as per, they go wild on social media, Mike. And what fucking happens with this?
It's it's so dramatic. Then all of a sudden, like, people like, when they're hearing Tebow coming back, they got to bring up the whole Kaepernick situation. I'm like, first off, like, Tim Tebow's not coming back as a quarterback. If he came back as a quarterback, then I'd be like, listen, I agree with you because that dude sucked every fucking game for 3.5 quarters. But all of a sudden, at the end of the game, he just makes these fucking crazy plays, and all of a sudden they fucking win for some fucking reason. It was like, everybody's like, oh, Jesus did it, and it was fun. It was fun to fucking watch. You know what I mean? So people are being like so dramatic, and then people like Eton Thomas that actually played for the Knicks, he came out. He was like, he tweeted like, oh, listen, he's like, I got nothing against Tim Tebow, but you're going to tell me with a straight face that he can get a contract, but Kaepernick can't. All the talk about how much Cap has missed, potential distractions, etc., should never be repeated again in life. I'm like, Eton Thomas, like, shut the fuck up. These are totally different situations. Like, if Kaepernick knew like a head coach and, say just for instance, I'll go the whole black and white situation because I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. So say like Kaepernick wanted to come back and be a backup, and Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh needed a backup because he had fucking Rudolph, which fucking he sucks, and he needed a backup for fucking Big Ben. You don't think Mike Tomlin will give him a fucking shot to come back and be a backup if Kaepernick was so like prepared and ready to come back? But it's just so like I'm sick of the whole storyline. I'm sick of the people just like just looking at the whole black and white situation and make it a big deal when it's just not. Like, Tebow knew him. He fucking coached him in college. Tebow brings a locker room together. They rally around him. And to be honest, like, I don't think he's going to cut it as a tight end. He'll probably get cut the first fucking week of training camp. But you know what ends up? He'll probably end up meeting the guys in the fucking Jacksonville. He'll get a good relationship with people and he'll end up being a coach. And you can't say that thing with Kaepernick because Kaepernick came out. I mean, sure, he was doing some things good for social justice, making people aware, whatever. I think people like kind of supported that in the beginning. I mean, me personally, I was just sick of seeing it like on like the media aspect, showing him kneeling, showing him like, quote unquote, disrespecting the flag. But then Kaepernick came out a couple weeks later and wore pig socks. You know what I mean? I mean, after that, it's just like, you're fucking childish. You know what I mean? Like, normal people wouldn't fucking do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? To disrespect the police force when probably like, most of the police force are just doing a good job out there. And so like, it's like a whole like big deal with those two, but trying to compare those two or comparing like apples and oranges. That's my opinion.
Oh, you're absolutely right, bro. It's really just more evidence that there really are powers that control this world that are way above presidents and fucking whatever it is. I can't even think of an extra word. The other words, but leaders, like prime minister. That's I don't know. I couldn't get it out of my mouth. What happened?
Kings and queens.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not really any truth.
Hey, there's still some that exist. Dictators.
Yeah, dictators. Like there's people above them, and people like Colin Kaepernick. They're used as a means of division. So the irony of calling him a social justice warrior when his whole thing has created more division than anything that he could have done. You know what I mean? You go in the world, yeah. There's fucking sure. I'm sure there's a lot of situations where cops don't do the right thing, don't do the right. You know, it happens. You're dealing with life and death. It's just kind of part of it. But Tim Tebow, he's a camp body, bro. The NFL, this is the shit that just blows my mind. We know that there's a 90-man roster in the offseason. So that means that teams know that they're going to have 45 fucking cuts or whatever it ends up being when the season's over. So they're literally getting people in the building just to have camp bodies. Yet Tim Tebow gets signed just to fucking be part of it, maybe teach some of the young guys a little bit about being a professional football player, having good character or whatever the fucking that Urban Meyer wants them to. Who cares? How is that the same as Colin Kaepernick not getting a contract? Tim Tebow got a contract. Well, he's 6'3". He's gonna fucking play tight end in the fucking in the NFL. He's gonna be chip blocking fucking guys like. It's just so ridiculous. Just that people buy this.
I got it. I know what they should do, right? And if I read about this in like the next few weeks, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Tim Tebow is gonna be draftable on fantasy teams. If you look at two guys that are sort of built the same way, have a same kind of look to them, but are complete polar opposites, imagine having Tim Tebow hang out with Rob Gronkowski, right? Like, bro, they couldn't get more fucking opposite of one another, but they kind of look the same, right? Like, if you told me they were cousins, you might believe some stupid shit like that, right? You get him to fucking hang out with him, and Gronkowski's just be like, yo, this is how you got to be as a tight end. And he just hangs out with him for like 2 months and ruins everything for him, right? Because obviously he's going to have to ruin his faith. He's going to ruin everything. He's going to be out there fucking partying, chugging beers. Tim Tebow's going to be a starting tight end. Outside of that, it's kind of probably what you were saying, Mike, where Tim Tebow will probably end up being like a part of the coaching staff. You know what I mean? Where he's just kind of there to sort of bring the culture of what Urban Meyer had. And it's just another one of Urban Meyer's guys. You know, it's part of the reason why they went out and they took, you know, I'm going to butcher this name and whatever, Antony, the running back from Clemson, just to go with Trevor Lawrence. He likes that kind of unity. You know, they're bringing all that kind of culture together. So that's really what it's more of than anything else. But man, I'll tell you, you see him hanging out with Rob Gronkowski, fucking dude's gonna go nasty, bro.
He's definitely not gonna go to his church. Will be like at the fucking bar on fucking Miami Beach and shit, you know. But that's what it is, man. You got one guy, Tim Tebow, that gets people to rally around him, and then you get Kaepernick, who's another guy that just causes division. So what do you want in the locker room? I mean, sure, is Jacksonville gonna get a nice little distraction with the media the first couple of weeks of camp all about Tim Tebow? But you know what that does? That takes away from their fucking number one fucking quarterback they drafted. So like, you know, maybe that's a little fucking mind screw to like the whole media situation in there. Maybe it's not such a black and white thing, you know, across this social media fucking platform. Everybody needs to fucking chill and relax and look at the fucking football picture. Don't look at the colors. Don't look at the fucking people. Look at the football picture. And then you would understand. Don't fucking make it political. I'm sick of the sports being political. It's annoying. I just want to watch the game, fucking relax, and not have to deal with any of the fucking bullshit going on in the fucking world. Because you know what? The media makes all this fucking narrative so much more exaggerated to begin with. And you know, we don't need it, especially coming over a pandemic. We need sports to be back full. We need all the fans in the stadium. We need this to happen, man. You know, we need all these fucking good storylines to come out, and let's just rock and roll with it.
Absolutely. What do they always say in the bars, right? Never discuss politics, religion, and money in the bar, right? But you're supposed to be able to talk sports, right? Like, yeah, that could start some fights because, you know, it might be get some Eagle fans, which Cowboys and Giants and all that kind of shit. Who cares? Fuck. But that's all good. But like, you're not supposed to talk about this shit. So keep the fucking politics out of sports, please. Let these guys play and entertain us, like Mike just said. Please. That's all we ask as sports fans. And let's keep the fucking shit talking amongst us and like really put it towards the attention to those scumbags in fucking Philly and fucking Dallas and shit doing that fucking trade.
Scumbags from New York, bro.
You know? But listen, I think that kind of wraps us up here for this week, fellas. I don't know about you, but I think we're wrapping it up. You know where to find us. We are the Big Blue Offensive Podcast, all right? On Twitter, we are BBOMYG. That's where we're at. You can find us there. That's where you can get all three of us at the same time. But if you want to hit us up individually, because we like those individual DMs. I know John does, because that's why he is John at the NYG Slapper, because he throws out so many slaps that Twitter puts him on like in jail for a couple of weeks, and then he has to come back, all right? Like, that's how crazy he goes. That's why he's the NYG Slap Parade, all right? You got Mike at Mike Trade at MFT, and myself, Jules, NYC1. We're done for this week. We'll see you next week. Later.